Hello, my name is Sharia Hutchison, and this is my introductory video. A little bit of background about me. I am 28 years old. Two things that are very important to me are my family and my faith. And I am very fortunate in that I am able to take this class with my best friend, Catherine Blankenship. A little bit about my educational career. I graduated from Wichita State University in 2017. Since then, I have taught fourth grade for 5 years in Garden City. And this year is my first year at South Hutchinson in sixth grade. And so that was a big adjustment over the summer, going from a rather large district to a rather small district. Some goals that I have in my educational career are within 5 years, I would like to either obtain an ESOL teaching position locally as I am working towards my ESOL master's degree, teach overseas, particularly in South Korea, or become an instructional coach. My rationale for becoming an ESOL teacher is that I've always had a love of languages. I've been working for several years now on learning Korean, and I know some Spanish just from where I taught before. And for 4 years, I took Spanish in high school, and I just kind of glean words as I can here and there. Um, Also, I worked in a town where it is a minority majority town. And so, with that being said, I am considered as a Caucasian person, a minority group there. And so, that gave me a lot of opportunities to work with ESOL students. And I just came to have a passion for them. And I just really loved working with them. And then also, along with the fact that my original goal in teaching was to teach overseas. And so, having that ESOL degree could really help me with that if I ever do take those steps. Switching a little bit from me to education, moving from a larger district to a smaller one has been a pretty big adjustment. There are a lot of policy changes, and while that's pretty obvious, there were some surprising ones for me, like in how many assessments are administered and expectations for grades and things like that. So it's just been a pretty big adjustment in that area. Levels of performance in my previous district, the school that I taught at was a Title I school, and it was also one of the lowest performing schools in the district just because of the high migrant ESOL and poverty population that we had at this school. The teachers were fantastic, the kids were amazing, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast when you pull from those kinds of areas. A lot of those students have been disadvantaged for many years, and so that does affect their work. And then also a big change um, in the experience has been just workload and required duties. Like I said, there's a lot more testing in this new district. It's a higher performing district, and so they're a lot more rigorous in some of their routines and strategies. And that's been it's been a really good experience for me, but it's also been very challenging just getting used to things. But I've been really enjoying it. I think it's going to help me be a better educator. But it's been a definite change. So with that being said, moving into my new district and school and how they analyze their data, they do things like a lot of diagnostic assessments. In my previous district, we really only use FastBridge as a diagnostic assessment, whereas here they use FastBridge, they use STAR testing through Renaissance, they use iReady, which is a part of the math curriculum, and there are a couple others that it's just pretty intensive here. We also have dedicated PLCs that are on a routine, whereas in my previous district, it was kind of like whatever we needed to talk about for that week, that's what we did. Here, they're very in routine. This is how we do it. We're constantly looking at data of all different kinds. They have data boards that they're working on creating just to celebrate students and to show families and the community members how students are doing and really encourage the kids in that way. They do intensive progress monitoring, not only through FastBridge, but through their intervention program called SIPS. They do a lot of progress monitoring that way. And then just individual classrooms do their own special progress monitoring in different areas as well. And then they do MTSS a little bit differently. Like I said, they use SIPS for interventions, which is a very specifically dedicated program. But during that time, we're able to work on students or work with students in both math and reading, which is a big change from my previous district where they just mostly focused on reading. Some of my personal knowledge of data implementation is that I use it to inform my instruction to see, what do I need to really hit on the next lesson, or hey, this lesson didn't work well, maybe I need to change it for next year, things like that. I use it to form my guided reading and small group instruction. So certain students should go in this group because their data shows that they need to work on this skill. And then every 2 to 3 weeks, I adjust those groups as needed. And then for strategic groupings for small group work, I try to make for sure that students are placed in groups that will be encouragement to them and that will help them understand the content better. And then I also use it for differentiation and scaffolding of work. This year, I can't really scaffold as much just because I don't have a lot of ESL students, but differentiation is a big thing that I'm working on, especially as I have a couple students who are not yet identified as special education qualifications, but we're working on getting them qualified under that. And so really working on making sure I'm providing different levels of differentiation for them. Finally, my personal knowledge improvement plan. I plan to use this course as an opportunity to explore my district's expectation of data analysis and implementation. Like I said, there's a lot going on here. And so I'm working just to make for sure that I understand what all is going on, what's expected of me, and this course gives me the perfect opportunity to do that. I also plan to use this course as a tool to help me better understand data in general and how to deeply analyze it so I can use it for the improvement of my teaching and my students' learning. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night.